Hey there, Weekend Confirmers. It's Jeff Cannata. Ha! What's up, guys? And I'm here answering a Twitter question because it's time for your question of the week. This question was sent in by @RedSwirl. Oh, Red Swirl. Good to get a question from you, pal. If I may call you pal. You ask, I'm speaking just to you. Everybody else, just be quiet for a second. Red Swirl. They say freemium is the future, but how do you apply that to single-player games? Well, good question. Freemium, I think, undeniably, is going to be a larger and larger section of the future. It certainly seems to work really well. And I know everybody gets sick of it when we talk about iOS games, but iOS games are proof that in-app purchases tend to vastly outstrip revenue of just the price of buying a game. I can speak anecdotally from my own life that my girlfriend has been playing a game called Order Up, which is a Chilingo game. And she has only been playing it single player. She has not been interested at all in any multiplayer. I don't even know if the game has multiplayer. It's basically Cooking Marmar. If Cooking Mama was a not a Wii game but a touchscreen iPad game. And she has been spending just disgusting amounts of money on in-app gold to continue building her restaurant up. Of course, that's the sort of Farmville-esque, what they call casual, but is becoming very hardcore based on how much money people are spending doing it. And she's having a blast. It has nothing to do with showing off her restaurant to other people. It has nothing to do with multiplayer in any sense of the word. It is purely a single-player experience, and yet the freemium model, because the game was free to download on the iPad, is working like gangbusters. So I think we can infer from that anecdote that this kind of thing can apply. Now, applying it, of course, I think the spirit of your question is applying it to what we consider AAA, big, narrative-driven, hardcore games. And I think that's going to take a little bit of a rethink on how freemium works, because that audience is used to a certain amount of game for their dollar. But when you start figuring out ways to add side content or do the equivalent of what is happening in these kinds of more casual games with gold allowing you to, you can earn it in-game by playing, or you can kind of just like, I just want to buy some gold and move forward. Like I said, the hardcore is not going to accept that right away, but somebody's going to be smart enough to figure out a way to make that work single player for a AAA game. And I don't have the solution to it, but I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to completely replace paying $60 up front, but certainly I think if you're playing a single-player role-playing game, you're playing Mass Effect 3, which has multiplayer obviously, but if you're playing, a big Elder Scrolls game and you want to start spending some money on some real things, I don't think that that's going to be something people will not do. Certain people will not do it, but it's going to be popular enough that you're going to see this kind of game happen. And I think it could be a sea change that will spread into some of our most anticipated franchises, the most popular franchises. I think we'll get there. Not soon, not tomorrow, but at a certain point. And I don't know if necessarily think it's a bad thing from a gamer standpoint. Getting something for free, it's hard to argue with, even if there's a little bit of crack associated with it. Anyway, thanks for the question. See you next week. Will be knowing nothing about anything else that's coming out this year, right? It's hard for us not to.
Also, I don't know if the forms of
clamoring about running about
based purely on the fact to have more
about that. You see these guys running around, jumping up, back and forth, building from ledges, all that kind of stuff. All the things.
So based on that pedigree,
of
course, we assume Half-Life 3.